I can't hear you, Rafe. Are you on mute?
No matter how many times we get on these meetings, it's like someone has to relearn Zoom every time.
Yeah, seems to be the nature of the beast.
How was everyone's weekend?
Fine. Nothing terribly exciting. Just walked around the block a few dozen times. Did a bit of reading. Of course, I mostly read to my children, but I do like those Elephant and Piggy books.
It was so hot, I mostly stayed inside and watched a documentary about insects. They are quite fascinating up close, you know. It was called Learning to See, about this guy, Robert Ullman, a psychologist who became interested in macro photography and incredible insect images. He actually helped scientists to discover and document new species from the rainforest.
This is just great. Probably more proof why they think it's time for me to retire. I just can't stand all this new technology.
What?
Oh, you can hear me? Huh. 1 second here. Finally. Well, I did some updates on my computer the other day, and I've had to recalibrate every application on here.
I think they call them apps these days.
Well, you're all on time. I really appreciate it.
Punctuality is something I try and help clients with. It makes a better first impression.
I've thought about being late, but I'm always in too much of a hurry to get here to make it happen.
It's good I have a reminder set on my phone. I was so absorbed in my webtoon. I'm reading Lore Olympus. You would probably like it, Lexi, and maybe you too, Dr. Billy. It's a modern take on the Hades and Persephone story. I'm obsessed.
Well, that's just great. So, are you all ready?
Ready as we'll always be. Isn't that true, my friends?
Yeah, ready, steady.
Sure thing.
Good. Today, we're going to take up some words that I think are overripe to the point of festering and really do need to be removed from the dictionary.
So what are the words?
Before all that, I should tell you that the front office has been very pleased with our current efforts.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. They say we've been making strong progress clearing the way for a new linguistic future, making room for words that have been left out for far too long and should be acknowledged.
Indeed, an essential task.
Not your civilization depends upon it.
I wouldn't be so sure. We should be maybe trying to make even more change.
Why? You think we're not doing enough?
No, not necessarily. So anyway, what are the words?
Well, as I mentioned last time, I thought we should consider whensoever versus eftsoons.
Whensoever, a very interesting one, meaning from whatever place or source.
And eftsoons, meaning very soon.
Which one do you think we can remove from the next dictionary?
Tough decision.
Indeed, it verily is.
You only say that because you forced us last time to leave in verily.
Mayhap I did.
But who really uses eftsoons in a sentence anymore?
I think you just did.
Smart Alec.
Well, I think I will eftsoons if I have the opportunity.
Whensoever did you get that idea? After all, you could just say very soon.
Yeah, what do we need eftsoons for?
Ah, that is the essential question. Does a word have a nuance or meaning we absolutely could not say another way?
Or if it is very similar to another word, does it have different qualities we appreciate, a rhythm or feeling of the past we are not ready to leave behind?
Though sometimes we do need to leave the past behind and move forward. Most people don't realize how important some words are in creating our sense of reality.
Or in allowing us to ignore things that exist, but we don't want to acknowledge or see.
Yes, sometimes the stress of this task is just more than I can deal with myself. But we must press on.
The thing is, though...
Yes?
Well...
Spit it out already.
Well, the thing is, neither of those words seems necessary. No one uses them in daily conversation. I've never, ever in my life felt the need to say whensoever, and I don't think eftsoons is going to surge in popularity anytime soon.
That may be true, but if we remove all the words we don't hear daily, doesn't our language lose some of its richness? If we simply resort to only including vernacular in our dictionaries, so many shades of meaning will be lost to us.
Yes, like the hues of some colors that some cultures are said to be unable to see because they lack a word to define it.
But because Homer understood the colour blue differently than we do now, we have the wine dark sea. Sometimes lack of specificity in language allows for more precision.
So you think we need less words in our language to allow for greater exactitude?
Well, I say we remove both whensoever and eftsoons.
But eftsoons is just so fun to say.
Now, Freya, that is no reason whatsoever for keeping it in the dictionary.
I think in that case you actually meant whatsoever, but I suppose neither of those words is exactly trending right now.
No, certainly not. Language needs to change with the times. Think how odd it would be for either of those words to be used in the span of the same breath as a word like trending.
I'm not necessarily saying that they're irreplaceable, but I like to think that we are in a world where words like eftsoons and trending can live in harmony. Just like I might choose to wear a flapper dress with a pair of Converse sneakers. The marvel of modern times is that we can be influenced by all that has come before, but also by current ideas of fashion and identity.
Yes, our world is rather too complicated to be able to sum it all up into a single holophrasis.
I'm not saying we should condense the language into a single word, merely that eftsoons and whensoever are both relatively unknown and useless.
No, allophrasis, that's quite a word.
It is rather fascinating, isn't it? It's finding a way to express a complex idea in a single word.
Holophrasis is the heart of my study, bringing things down to the simplest, most likely explanation. After all, it is said that in the beginning there was the Word.
And that's also the soul of this job, finding the words which allow for the most holophrasis to help us communicate with one another more effectively.
Yes, we are superheroes.
We are heroes in a way. There are so many rifts to heal.
Yes, this is a Herculean task. Such a need to find that just milieu that will allow for peace, especially in this liminal moment, this time of vicissitude. We're standing upon the precipice, the escarpment, the very cliff edge of humanity. And how can we possibly move forward without language that allows us to clearly communicate with one another? Not just in the now, but across space and time and culture and understanding.
Wow.
I know. It's quite a lot to take in.
Yes, but even I, who have an extensive vocabulary, have no idea what you just said.
Well, that wasn't exactly Old English.
What sayest thou? No, I think he means we can lead humans to the next moment in a more positive way if we can only help them to have the words they need to truly connect with each other.
That sounds like a worthy goal.
Yes, absolutely. But do you really think that whensoever and eftsoons are healing rifts, bringing us past the liman, that endless doorway to stand in the room together?
Well, maybe not.
I mean, at the moment, no one's supposed to be in the same rooms together, so...
Sorry, this is a client, just a sec. Oh, hi.
So I hate to end this philosophical argument, but which word are we going to remove from the dictionary?
That, my dear Freya, is exactly what we have
Sure,
been
let me
discussing
check my
this
schedule.
whole time.
Right. Of course, but we've gotten a bit abstract. Maybe we can come back down to earth?
Well, I may have some questions for us that might throw a little more light on the situation.
Forge ahead then, my friend.
Now, I'm not sure that I believe this myself, but I do wonder if each word must move a conversation forward. And if so, do these words do that?
Well, I could say, I will see you eftsoons, or the change will happen eftsoons, or the rain will be here eftsoons.
But whensoever did you find out about the rain? Those meteorologists are often wrong.
Well, they might be right. Eftsoons.
It seems to me we can use both effectively. Perhaps we need them both. Is there another word someone could offer up for today's removal?
A more recent word, perhaps.
Yes,
One which
sure,
causes
sure.
contention and strife among people.
No pressure. I mean, keep in mind, you can't get rid of problems just by getting
glad
rid
you
of some
called.
words.
See you soon.
Good point.
I'm not sure I'm hip enough with the times to know a contemporary word that we should remove.
Yeah, no one uses hip anymore.
Really? What do people say instead?
Cool, trending, in, hot, fly,
Fresh,
kickin', swish,
swank,
drip,
dope, styling.
on fleek. Should we continue?
I think I may need to lie down.
What were you expecting her to say? The hep to the jive, nifty, spiffy, and neat? Language is a dynamic and ever-changing thing. This liminal cliff edge moment you were talking about before, it's all about how we understand our world and each other. How can we hope to do that if we don't even understand each other's words?
I think that's a good point.
So we remove both eftsoons and whensoever.
What I'm talking about is bigger than that, but yes, that would be a good start.
All in favor of removing both words, say aye.
I.
Aye.
Nay. I just like to have choices in how I communicate. I think it's cool to be wide-ranging, and that both swank and eftsoons could exist in the vocabulary of the same person. But I get it. Maybe for swank to make it into the dictionary, we need to remove eftsoons.
Well, 3 out of 4. Sorry, Frey, it seems you've been outvoted. That will do for today. Next time we'll discuss anti-penultimate and trilemma.
See you later.
Do you really think he's going to retire?
I don't know. I'll see what I can find out.
I wonder who'd lead our group then.
Well, maybe Rafe could.
Still do it? Maybe, though. It might be time for a leader who's a bit more up to date with current ideas. Rafe was aghast at Freya's list of modern words, though. It was kind of funny. She was the one wanting to keep eftsoons. You're not gonna start mixing your clothing styles, are you?
Probably not. Though my wife does seem to think some of my shirts are from the last century. But it is surprising when the youngest of us is the champion of the old words. Anyway. Oh, sorry. Sounds like I better go. I'll talk to you soon.